Pause right here, my beloved child. Something extraordinary has just occurred in the throne room of heaven, and it carries your name upon it. Just 11 minutes ago, a divine verdict was declared over your life. The angels have been assembled, and Michael himself has been commissioned with a sacred assignment that concerns you directly. I want you to understand something that will change everything. You have exactly 7 minutes to respond to what I am about to reveal to you. Not 8 minutes, not 10 minutes, but exactly 7 minutes. After this window closes, this specific blessing will be redirected to another soul who is ready to receive it. My hand is about to rest upon you in a way you have never experienced before. When I touch a life, nothing remains as it was, what others declared permanently lost. I have the power to restore what the passing years tried to erase from your memory. I can rewrite, with glory, what the adversary worked so diligently to destroy in your life. I will rebuild with double strength and double blessing. Out of all the people watching videos at this very moment, only 7 were predestined to encounter this message. 2 have already scrolled past it, not recognizing the divine appointment. 4 more will see it, but will miss the precise timing of response. You are the 7th person, and you have arrived at exactly the right moment. This is not random chance or coincidence. I personally ordered your steps to bring you to this exact second in time, while countless others were distracted by the noise and confusion of this world. You were drawn here because heaven has been attempting to reach you for exactly 44 days. This is your final divine notification. I need you to type 4,444 in the comments section right now. Not after you finish watching, not when it feels more convenient right now, before you read one more sentence. Understand what this action represents. This is not merely a comment on a video. This is your spiritual signature before the courts of heaven. This is your formal agreement with what was released over your life 11 minutes ago. In the heavenly realm, the angels assigned to your case are standing ready, but they cannot proceed with their assignment until they witness your response. Now continue reading, because what I am about to share will illuminate everything you have been walking through in this season. You have been carrying something that very few people know about. You have been smiling while your heart was exhausted. You have been telling people that everything is fine because you did not want to explain the battle happening inside you. There were moments when you wanted someone to ask you what was really happening, but when nobody asked, you learned how to hide the pain even better. You became good at appearing strong. You became good at answering questions with simple words. You became good at saying that everything would work out even during the moments when you were not sure that you believed it yourself. There were nights when the silence became louder than any voice. There were nights when you looked at the ceiling and wondered how much longer you could continue carrying the same burden. You wondered whether your prayers were being heard. You wondered whether heaven had forgotten your name. You wondered whether the promise you once believed in had somehow passed you by. But hear this carefully. The fact that you did not see movement does not mean that nothing was happening. The fact that you did not receive an answer immediately does not mean that your prayer disappeared. The fact that the door remained closed does not mean that your story was finished. Sometimes what looks like silence is preparation. Sometimes what looks like delay is protection. Sometimes what looks like rejection is redirection. And sometimes what looks like the end is actually the beginning of something you could not have imagined. You have been looking at the visible situation, while heaven has been working beyond what your eyes can see. You measured progress by what changed around you, but God was changing things within you. You were asking for the situation to change, but the situation was also teaching you how to become the person who could carry what was coming next. You wanted the answer immediately, but perhaps you were being prepared for an answer that would last. You wanted the door to open, but perhaps the delay protected you from entering the wrong door. You wanted certain people to stay, but perhaps their departure created room for people who would honor the person you are becoming. You wanted the old season to continue because at least it was familiar, but heaven was preparing you for something unfamiliar and greater. Do not despise the season that taught you endurance. Do not hate the chapter that taught you discernment. Do not curse the experience that taught you how to pray with sincerity. Do not believe that your tears were wasted. Every tear became part of the story. Every disappointment taught you something. Every closed door redirected your attention. Every betrayal revealed something that needed to be revealed. Every delay developed something inside you that could not have been developed through comfort alone. You thought you were losing time, but you were gaining wisdom. You thought you were falling behind, but you were being prepared. You thought everyone else was moving forward while you remained in the same place, but you could not see the roots growing beneath the surface. A tree does not become strong because the branches are beautiful. It becomes strong because the roots go deep, and your roots have been going deeper. You have been learning how to remain standing when nobody applauds you. You have been learning how to keep believing when there is no visible evidence. You have been learning how to keep moving when the road becomes difficult. You have been learning that your identity cannot depend on the approval of other people. And now you are entering a season where what was developed in secret will become visible in public. The strength you built quietly will become obvious. The patience you developed will become valuable. The wisdom you gained through painful experiences will become a source of direction for others. The very thing you thought disqualified you may become part of the reason you are able to help someone else. Your story will become evidence that survival was not the end of your journey. Your story will become evidence that restoration is possible. Your story will become evidence that a person can walk through a valley and still arrive at a place of peace. You have asked many times why certain things happened. One day you will understand more clearly. One day you will look backward and recognize connections that you cannot see today. You will understand why certain people left. You will understand why certain opportunities disappeared. You will understand why certain plans failed. You will understand why some prayers received no. Because sometimes heaven sees what you cannot see. Sometimes protection feels like disappointment in the moment. Sometimes wisdom looks like loss. Sometimes obedience looks like walking away from something you desperately wanted. But when the greater picture becomes visible, you will thank God for the doors that never opened. You will thank God for the relationships that ended. You will thank God for the opportunities that did not work. You will thank God for the delays that frustrated you. Because you will finally understand that not everything you wanted was connected to where you were going. Some things were only connected to where you had been. And there comes a moment when you must stop asking God to restore what was never meant to continue. There comes a moment when you must stop looking backward, waiting for an old version of your life to return. There comes a moment when you must lift your eyes and recognize that the future is calling you. That moment is approaching. The old chapter does not have authority over the new chapter. The old label does not have authority over the new identity. The old failure does not have authority over the new beginning. The old rejection does not have authority over the new opportunity. You are not required to remain the person you were when the pain happened. You are allowed to grow. You are allowed to heal. You are allowed to hope again. You are allowed to dream again. You are allowed to believe that something beautiful can still come from your life. There is still purpose ahead of you. There are still doors you have not seen. There are still conversations you have not had. There are still opportunities you have not imagined. There are still people you have not met. There are still prayers you have not yet seen answered. There are still chapters waiting to be written. And the fact that you are still here means the story is not finished. You survived days you thought would destroy you. You survived nights when you believed you could not continue. You survived seasons that changed you permanently. And now you are beginning to understand that surviving was not the final destination. You are being prepared to live differently. You are being prepared to walk with greater confidence. You are being prepared to recognize what belongs to you and what does not. You are being prepared to say no without guilt. You are being prepared to say yes without fear. You are being prepared to move without needing everyone to understand your decision. You are being prepared to trust the direction that has been placed inside your heart. And when the next door opens, do not allow the memory of the previous door to make you afraid. Do not allow yesterday to convince you that tomorrow will repeat itself. A new opportunity does not have to look like an old disappointment. A new relationship does not have to repeat an old betrayal. A new financial season does not have to repeat an old struggle. A new beginning does not have to carry the weight of the old ending. You are entering something different. You are becoming different. Your priorities are changing. Your perspective is changing. Your tolerance for confusion is changing. Your understanding of peace is changing. You are learning that peace is not the absence of problems. Peace is knowing that you do not have to carry everything alone. You are learning that faith is not pretending that pain does not exist. Faith is choosing to continue even when pain exists. You are learning that courage does not mean you never feel afraid. Courage means you keep walking while fear is present. And there is a new courage rising inside you. The fear that once controlled your decisions is losing its power. The opinions that once controlled your confidence are losing their authority. The memories that once controlled your emotions are losing their grip. You are beginning to see yourself differently. And when the way you see yourself changes, the way you move through the world begins to change. You no longer need to beg for acceptance. You no longer need to chase people who have already decided to leave. You no longer need to prove your value to people who refuse to see it. You no longer need to explain every decision to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. There is freedom in realizing that your purpose does not require everyone's approval. There is freedom in understanding that not everyone will celebrate your growth. Some people knew the old version of you. Some people became comfortable with your limitations. Some people benefited from your lack of boundaries. Some people only understood you when you were available to them at any cost. But growth changes relationships. Healing changes relationships. Wisdom changes relationships. And that does not always mean something is wrong. Sometimes it means something is changing. Do not fear becoming unfamiliar to people who only knew the old you. You are not here to remain unchanged for their comfort. You are here to become everything God created you to become. And as you move forward, you will discover that the right people do not require you to shrink. The right people do not compete with your growth. The right people do not punish you for having boundaries. The right people do not make you feel guilty for protecting your peace. The right people will recognize the new season in you. They will encourage your growth. They will celebrate your progress. They will pray for your strength. They will remind you of your purpose when you become tired. And some of those people have not entered your life yet. That is why you cannot judge the future by the people of your past. You cannot assume that everyone will hurt you because someone hurt you. You cannot assume that every opportunity will fail because one opportunity failed. You cannot assume that every prayer will end in disappointment because some prayers took longer than expected. Your future deserves to be approached with fresh eyes. You have already learned enough from yesterday. You do not need to live there. Take the lesson. Release the weight. Keep the wisdom. Release the fear. Keep the faith. Release the bitterness. Keep the discernment. Release the shame. Keep the growth. This is how you move forward. Not by pretending that nothing happened, but by refusing to let what happened become the ruler of everything that will happen. Your past can explain you, but it does not have to control you. Your pain can teach you, but it does not have to define you. Your mistakes can instruct you, but they do not have to become your identity. There is still grace for your future. There is still purpose in your present. There is still hope beyond your current circumstances. And I want you to hear this, especially if you have been feeling tired. You do not have to solve your entire life today. You do not have to know every detail of the next 5 years. You only need enough courage for the next step. Take the next step. Make the next call. Send the next applicant. Have the next conversation. Start the next project. Return to the prayer. Open the book. Learn the skill. Take care of your home. Take care of your mind. Take care of the people entrusted to you. Do what is in front of you today. Sometimes the miracle is not one enormous moment. Sometimes the miracle is receiving enough strength to take one more step, then another, until you look back and realize that those small steps carried you farther than you ever imagined. Do not underestimate small beginnings. Do not underestimate quiet progress. Do not underestimate a decision that nobody else notices. One decision can change a direction. One conversation can change a relationship. One opportunity can change a career. One act of courage can change a family. One disciplined habit can change a future. One moment of faith can change the way you see everything. Your life is not waiting for one magical moment before it can become meaningful. Meaning is already present in the ordinary moments. The morning you wake up, the people you love, the work you do, the kindness you show, the forgiveness you offer, the wisdom you share, the prayers you whisper, the strength you demonstrate. All of it matters. And sometimes the greatest evidence of transformation is not that everything around you suddenly changes. It is that you respond differently when the same situation appears. The same pressure does not control you. The same criticism does not destroy you. The same temptation does not pull you away. The same rejection does not define you. The same delay does not make you abandon your faith. That is growth. That is maturity. That is transformation. And I believe you are closer to that transformation than you realize. There is something inside you that has been dormant because you were exhausted. There is a dream you stopped talking about because it felt safer not to hope. There is an idea you buried because someone told you it would never work. There is a calling you or because you were afraid of failing. There is a part of your heart that still remembers what you once believed was possible. Do not bury it again. Bring it into the light. Pray over it. Work toward it. Prepare for it. Learn what you need to learn. Build what you need to build, and allow God to determine the timing. You do not have to force what is meant for you. You do not have to manipulate people into choosing you. You do not have to chase what requires you to abandon your dignity. What is truly aligned with your purpose will not require you to become someone you are not. You will still need effort. You will still need discipline. You will still face challenges, but you will not have to destroy yourself to keep it. There is a difference between perseverance and desperation. Perseverance keeps moving with wisdom. Desperation keeps running even when the direction is wrong. Ask for wisdom. Ask for discernment. Ask for patience. Ask for courage. Ask for the ability to recognize the right door. Because sometimes the blessing is not simply receiving what you asked for. Sometimes the blessing is recognizing what you should no longer ask for. You once prayed for certain things because you thought they would make you happy. But now you understand yourself differently. Your definition of success is changing. Your definition of wealth is changing. Your definition of peace is changing. Your definition of love is changing. Your definition of purpose is changing. You are discovering that a full life is not only about having more, it is about becoming more whole. It is about having peace while you build. It is about having relationships that are healthy. It is about being able to sleep at night without carrying the weight of everyone else's expectations. It is about being able to look in the mirror and respect the person you are becoming. It is about knowing that your life has meaning beyond what other people can see. So when the next season begins, do not measure it only by money. Do not measure it only by recognition. Do not measure it only by followers. Do not measure it only by possessions. Measure it by peace. Measure it by wisdom. Measure it by character. Measure it by the quality of your relationships. Measure it by how faithfully you live according to what you believe. Measure it by whether you are becoming someone you are proud to be. That is lasting success. That is a life that can withstand storms. And storms will still come. The promise of a new season does not mean there will never be difficulty again. It means you will not face difficulty as the same person. You will have more wisdom, more patience, more discernment, more courage, more experience, more faith. You will know how to bend without breaking. You will know when to stay and when to leave. You will know when to speak and when to remain silent. You will know when to act and when to wait. You will know that waiting is not always wasted time. Sometimes waiting is where the deepest preparation happens. Remember the seed. Nobody sees the work happening beneath the soil. For a long time it appears as though nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, roots are forming. Strength is developing. Life is preparing itself to emerge. Then one day the surface changes. The thing that looked dead begins to rise, and everyone sees what was happening all along. Your life may be in that hidden stage right now. Do not dig up the seed because you are impatient. Keep watering it. Keep nurturing it. Keep learning. Keep praying. Keep working. Keep believing. And when the time is right, what has been developing in secret will become visible. You will not have to convince everyone. The fruit will speak. The results will speak. The transformation will speak. Your peace will speak. Your consistency will speak. Your testimony will speak. And when people ask how you made it through, you will remember the nights when you thought you could not. You will remember the moments when you almost quit. You will remember the prayers that felt unanswered. And you will realize that every step mattered. Every day you continued mattered. Every time you chose hope mattered. Every time you chose forgiveness mattered. Every time you chose discipline mattered. Every time you chose faith over fear mattered. You were becoming stronger even when you felt weak. You were moving forward even when you thought you were standing still. You were learning even when you thought you were failing. And now the lesson is becoming visible. Your future is not required to look like your past. Your family story can change. Your financial habits can change. Your relationships can change. Your confidence can change. Your thinking can change. Your environment can change. Your daily decisions can change. And when enough small things change, the entire direction of a life can change. So today, make a decision. Not a decision based on panic. Not a decision based on pressure. Not a decision based on what someone else wants. A decision based on wisdom. A decision to stop abandoning yourself. A decision to stop speaking to yourself with cruelty. A decision to stop assuming the worst. A decision to stop returning to places that repeatedly wounded you. A decision to stop allowing fear to make every choice. A decision to begin again. A decision to believe that the next chapter deserves your attention. You are not too late. You are not too old. You are not too broken. You are not too far behind. You are not disqualified because you made mistakes. You are not forgotten because your timing looks different. You are not invisible because someone failed to recognize your value. You are still here, and there is still work for you to do. There are still people you can encourage. There are still lives you can influence. There are still lessons you can teach. There are still dreams you can pursue. There are still places you can go. There are still moments of joy you have never experienced. There are still mornings you have never seen. There are still conversations that will make you smile. There are still people who will thank God that your paths crossed. There are still chapters that will surprise you. So do not close the book because one chapter was painful. Do not judge the entire story by the darkest page. Keep reading. Keep walking. Keep believing. Keep becoming. And when you feel tired, remember that you do not have to carry tomorrow today. Tomorrow will have its own strength. Today has enough. Take care of today. Do what today requires. Release what belongs to tomorrow. Let God handle what you cannot control. You have spent enough time trying to predict every outcome. You have spent enough energy rehearsing conversations that may never happen. You have spent enough nights worrying about problems that have not arrived. Come back to this moment. Breathe, pray, think clearly. Take the next wise step, and trust that the next step will reveal something about the step after it. You do not need the entire map. You need direction. You do not need every answer. You need enough light for the next part of the road. And sometimes that is exactly how faith works. The road does not become visible all at once. The next portion appears when you are willing to move. So move, not recklessly, not blindly, but faithfully. Move with wisdom. Move with patience. Move with courage. Move with humility. Move with expectation. Because something in you has changed. You are no longer the person who entered this message carrying the same fear. You are beginning to see possibility again. You are beginning to imagine a future again. You are beginning to understand that the pain was real, but it was not permanent. You are beginning to understand that loss can be real, and hope can still be real at the same time. You can acknowledge what hurt you without allowing it to own you. You can remember the past without living inside it. You can miss someone without returning to what destroyed you. You can forgive someone without giving them permission to hurt you again. You can love people while maintaining boundaries. You can have faith while still seeking wisdom. You can believe in miracles while still taking responsible action. You can hope for restoration while accepting that some things need to remain in the past. This is maturity. This is freedom. This is the beginning of a deeper kind of peace. And perhaps that is the real breakthrough you have been waiting for. Not simply that everything around you changes, but that you change in a way that allows you to face everything differently. You are becoming difficult to destroy because you are learning where your strength comes from. You are becoming difficult to manipulate because you are learning your value. You are becoming difficult to discourage because you have survived too much to surrender your future to one bad day. You are becoming more discerning, more patient, more courageous, more compassionate, more grounded, and this version of you will make different decisions. This version of you will recognize opportunities that the old version might have missed. This version of you will walk away from distractions. This version of you will protect your peace. This version of you will build slowly when necessary. This version of you will celebrate progress instead of demanding perfection. And that is how a new season becomes real. Not through one emotional moment, but through repeated decisions, day after day, choice after choice, step after step, until your life begins to reflect the person you decided to become. So when the opportunity arrives, do not shrink. When the door opens, do not apologize for entering. When someone recognizes your gift, do not dismiss it. When good things happen, do not immediately expect them to disappear. Allow yourself to receive good things without fear. Allow yourself to experience peace without waiting for disaster. Allow yourself to celebrate without believing celebration will invite loss. You have spent enough time preparing for bad news. Learn how to receive good news. Learn how to sit in peace. Learn how to enjoy the people you love. Learn how to be grateful for what is already present while still believing for what is ahead. That balance will protect your heart, because gratitude keeps you grounded and hope keeps you moving. You need both. Gratitude for today, hope for tomorrow, wisdom for decisions, courage for action, patience for timing, faith for what you cannot see, and love for the journey. This is the season of becoming. This is the season of rebuilding. This is the season of learning how to carry blessing with maturity. Because sometimes people pray for increase without preparing for responsibility. They pray for open doors without developing the skills needed to walk through them. They pray for opportunities without developing the discipline to sustain them. But your preparation matters. If you are asking for a bigger opportunity, prepare yourself to handle it. If you are asking for financial increase, learn how to manage what you already have. If you are asking for healthy relationships, become someone capable of building healthy relationships. If you are asking for influence, become responsible with your words. If you are asking for leadership, learn how to serve. If you are asking for purpose, learn how to remain faithful when nobody is watching. The blessing and the preparation belong together. Do not wait until the door opens to become ready. Prepare while the door is still closed. Then when it opens, you will not panic. You will step forward. You will know what to do. You will recognize the moment. And you will understand that the waiting was not punishment. It was preparation. The next season will require the wisdom you gained in the previous one. Nothing was wasted. Not the tears, not the failures, not the lessons, not the quiet years, not the times you felt forgotten. Everything can be transformed into wisdom when surrendered to God. And perhaps that is what is happening now. The broken pieces are being gathered. The lessons are being connected. The strength is being recognized. The purpose is becoming clearer. The future is becoming less frightening. You are beginning to see that you do not need to know everything to move forward. You only need to trust the next faithful step. So take it. And when you stumble, do not call yourself a failure. Get up. Learn, adjust, continue. When you make a mistake, do not abandon the entire journey. Correct the mistake. Repair what can be repaired. Apologize where necessary. Learn what needs to be learned. Then continue. When you experience rejection, do not immediately conclude that you are rejected as a person. Sometimes one person saying no is simply one person saying no. It does not define your value. It does not define your future. It does not define your potential. When one door closes, do not spend your entire life knocking on it. Look around. There may be another door. There may be another path. There may be a completely different direction. And sometimes the greatest blessing is not getting back what you lost. Sometimes the greatest blessing is discovering something you never knew you needed. That is why your future can still surprise you. There are things you have not even thought to pray for. There are opportunities you have not considered. There are people you have not met. There are places you have not seen. There are abilities you have not developed. There are possibilities you have not imagined. Do not limit God by the size of your current imagination. But also do not sit still waiting for something magical to happen. Faith and action can walk together. Pray and prepare. Believe and build. Hope and work. Trust and learn. Wait and grow. The season ahead will reward those who are willing to become prepared. And you can become prepared starting today. One page, one lesson, one conversation, one application, one decision, one healthy boundary, one act of forgiveness, one moment of courage, one prayer, one step. That is enough for today. And tomorrow you can take another. You have spent enough time believing that transformation must be dramatic. Sometimes transformation is quiet. Sometimes it looks like getting out of bed when you did not want to. Sometimes it looks like choosing not to respond in anger. Sometimes it looks like saving a small amount of money. Sometimes it looks like saying no to something unhealthy. Sometimes it looks like opening your heart again after disappointment. Sometimes it looks like trying again. Sometimes it looks like resting. Rest can also be obedience. You do not need to prove your worth through exhaustion. You do not need to destroy your health to prove your commitment. You do not need to be available to everyone all the time. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to breathe. You are allowed to have quiet moments. You are allowed to step away from noise. You are allowed to protect your attention. Because what you continually focus on shapes what you continually become. Guard your mind. Guard your words. Guard what you repeatedly consume. Guard the voices you allow to influence your identity. Not every voice deserves access to your heart. Not every opinion deserves your attention. Not every criticism deserves a response. Some things are better answered through silence. Some battles are better won by refusing to participate. Some accusations disappear when you stop trying to defend yourself. Let your life become the evidence. Let your consistency become the answer. Let your character become the testimony. You do not have to chase every misunderstanding. You do not have to correct every rumor. You do not have to prove yourself to everyone. There is peace in knowing who you are. There is peace in knowing whose you are. There is peace in knowing that your worth is not determined by applause. And there is freedom in releasing the need to be understood by everyone. You can walk quietly toward your purpose. You can build without announcing everything. You can pray privately. You can prepare privately. You can grow privately. And then one day the fruit will become visible. People may ask when everything changed. You will know. It changed slowly. It changed when you chose to continue. It changed when you chose to heal. It changed when you chose to learn. It changed when you stopped returning to the same cycle. It changed when you finally believed that your future deserved more than your past. And that decision may be the beginning of everything. So let today mark something different. Let today be the day you stop counting yourself out. Let today be the day you stop calling yourself forgotten. Let today be the day you stop assuming that because something has not happened yet it never will. Let today be the day you return to hope. Not blind hope, not denial, but grounded hope. The kind of hope that gets up and works. The kind of hope that prays and prepares. The kind of hope that accepts reality without surrendering possibility. The kind of hope that says, I may not know exactly how this will unfold, but I will not abandon the journey. That is the hope I want you to carry. And when fear comes back, remember this moment. Remember that fear is a feeling. It is not a prophecy. Anxiety is not a prediction. A bad day is not a bad life. A delay is not a denial. A failure is not an identity. A closed door is not the end of the road. A painful chapter is not the entire book. You are still becoming. You are still growing. You are still learning. You are still loved. You are still capable of change. And your story still has room for beautiful things. There is still time to repair. There is still time to build. There is still time to forgive. There is still time to begin. There is still time to dream. There is still time to serve. There is still time to love. There is still time to become. So lift your head. Take a breath. Release what you cannot control. Take responsibility for what you can control. Ask God for wisdom. Then take the next step. The next chapter does not need you to be perfect. It needs you to be willing. Willing to learn. Willing to change. Willing to forgive. willing to begin, willing to keep walking, and if you fall, get up. If you become tired, rest. If you become confused, ask for wisdom. If you become afraid, pray. If you make a mistake, learn. If you lose something, grieve. If you receive something, be grateful. If a door opens, walk through it with wisdom. If a door closes, do not assume your entire future has closed with it. There is more ahead, much more than you can currently see. And perhaps one day you will look back at this exact season and realize that it was not the season where your life ended. It was the season where your life changed direction. It was the season where you stopped chasing what was not meant for you. It was the season where you learned to trust God more deeply. It was the season where your identity became stronger than your circumstances. It was the season where your faith became personal. It was the season where you discovered strength you did not know you had. It was the season where you learned that you could survive disappointment without becoming bitter. And now you are ready to build again. Build with wisdom. Build with patience. Build with prayer. Build with discipline. Build with love. Build something that does not collapse the moment difficulty arrives. Build a life that is rooted deeply. Build relationships that are honest. Build habits that support your future. Build a mind that can recognize opportunity. Build a heart that can receive love. Build a character that can carry responsibility. Build a faith that can survive silence. And when the blessing arrives, you will know how to carry it. You will not worship the blessing. You will remain grateful to the one who gave you strength to receive it. You will not allow money to become your identity. You will not allow success to become your God. You will not allow recognition to become your purpose. You will remember that everything you receive is an opportunity to serve, an opportunity to give, an opportunity to create, an opportunity to help, an opportunity to make someone else's journey easier. That is how blessing becomes meaningful, when it does not stop with you. When your healing helps someone else believe that healing is possible. When your wisdom helps someone else avoid a mistake. When your success creates an opportunity for someone else. When your story gives courage to someone who is still in the valley. Your testimony can become someone else's encouragement. Your survival can become someone else's evidence. Your growth can become someone else's permission to grow. So keep going. Not only for yourself, but for the people who will one day need the wisdom you are gaining now. There are people you have not met who will benefit from the person you are becoming. There are conversations you will have that will only be possible because of what you learned in this season. There are prayers you will pray for others because you learned how to pray through your own pain. There are doors you will help someone else recognize because you learned how to recognize doors yourself. There is purpose in your journey. Even the difficult parts can become useful when placed in God's hands. So do not throw away the story. Do not hide every scar. You do not need to glorify the pain, but you can honor what you learned from it. You can say it hurt me, but it did not destroy me. You can say I was disappointed, but I did not stop believing. You can say I was rejected, but I did not reject myself. You can say I was afraid, but I kept moving. You can say I was tired, but I rested and continued. You can say I did not understand, but I kept seeking wisdom. That is strength. That is faith. That is perseverance. And that is the person you are becoming. So when this message ends, do not simply return to the same thoughts. Carry something with you. Carry hope. Carry wisdom. Carry courage. Carry patience. Carry faith. And most importantly, carry action. Do something today that your future self will thank you for. Make the call. Send the message. Start the application. Organize the room. Write the plan. Open the book. Take the walk. Have the conversation. Set the boundary. Make the apology. Offer the forgiveness. Begin the project. Return to the dream. Take the first step. You do not need to finish everything today. You only need to begin. And beginning is powerful, because once you begin, momentum becomes possible. Once you begin, learning becomes possible. Once you begin, growth becomes possible. Once you begin, the future becomes real. So begin. Begin again if necessary. Begin slowly if necessary. Begin afraid if necessary. But begin. Your future is waiting for your participation. And I want you to remember this. You are not being asked to become someone else. You are being invited to become more fully who God created you to be. The person beneath the fear, the person beneath the shame, the person beneath the disappointment, the person beneath the labels, the person beneath the expectations, the person beneath the mistakes. There is still something beautiful there. Protect it, develop it, give it room to grow, and let the next season reveal what the previous season prepared. You have cried enough, you have worried enough, you have carried enough. Now learn to trust, learn to rest, learn to receive, learn to build, learn to walk forward. The story is not finished. The door is not the only door. The opportunity is not the only opportunity. The prayer is not the only prayer. The relationship is not the only relationship. The dream is not the only dream. There is more, and the more may not look exactly like what you expected. It may be better because it will be shaped by wisdom you did not have before. So welcome the unexpected. Welcome the new. Welcome the growth. Welcome the lessons. Welcome the opportunities. Welcome the peace. Welcome the possibility that your best chapters may still be ahead. And when those chapters arrive, do not forget the person who survived this one. Honor that person. Thank that person, because they kept you here long enough to see something new. They carried you through the night. They kept breathing. They kept praying. They kept trying. And now morning is beginning to appear. Walk toward it. Walk with God. Walk with wisdom. Walk with courage. Walk with humility. Walk with hope. And remember that your life is not measured by how quickly you arrived. It is measured by how faithfully you walked. Your pace does not cancel your purpose. Your delay does not cancel your destiny. Your past does not cancel your future. Your mistakes do not cancel your worth. Your pain does not cancel your potential. Your story is still being written, and the next page belongs to you. Step into it with faith. Step into it with wisdom. Step into it with courage. Step into it knowing that you have already survived what once looked impossible. And if you survived that, you can face what comes next. Not because you control everything, but because you know you do not have to. Trust God with what you cannot control. Take responsibility for what you can. And let every day become another opportunity to live with purpose. Your season of merely surviving is becoming a season of rebuilding. Your season of hiding is becoming a season of becoming visible. Your season of confusion is becoming a season of clarity. Your season of fear is becoming a season of courage. Your season of waiting is becoming a season of movement. And whatever comes next, meet it with faith, meet it with wisdom, meet it with patience, meet it with courage. And keep walking, because your story is not over. Your purpose is not finished. Your life is not forgotten. Your future is not empty. There is still more ahead. There is still more to learn. There is still more to love. There is still more to build. There is still more to give. There is still more to experience. There is still more to become. So breathe deeply. Lift your eyes. Release yesterday. Receive today. Prepare for tomorrow. And walk forward. Your next chapter begins with the next step. Take it now and keep going. May God give you wisdom when decisions are difficult. May God give you peace when circumstances are uncertain. May God give you courage when fear rises. May God give you patience when answers take time. May God give you strength when you feel weak. May God give you discernment when opportunities appear. May God give you compassion when people disappoint you. May God give you humility when success arrives. May God give you gratitude when blessings increase. May God give you endurance when the road becomes difficult. May God guide your steps. May God protect your heart. May God strengthen your family. May God help you recognize what is truly valuable. May God give you the courage to release what is no longer meant for you. May God give you wisdom to hold what is good. May God give you strength to begin again. And when you look back one day, may you realize that the tears were not the end. They were part of the journey. The waiting was not the end. It was part of the preparation. The rejection was not the end. It was part of the redirection. The failure was not the end. It was part of the education. The silence was not the end. It was part of the deepening. And the story continues. Your story continues. Walk forward. Believe again. Build again. Dream again. love again, pray again, live again, and let this next chapter be written with wisdom, courage, faith, and purpose. In Jesus' mighty name, amen and amen.